But today we are going to go into a fantasy world all the way to the distant future of the dystopian universe of the year 2020.
Nessa's kind of gonna do like, you guys know Ruby Rod in Fifth Element. Kind of gonna do like a live stream while this is all going down.
Unskippable too.
Yeah.
That's the height of rudeness in modern civilization. Unskippable ads. I remember the good old Betamax when you could fast forward.
About halfway through your conversation, you notice as you're talking, words stop coming out. And if Complex is around, he can see Mike with a cross through it. You've been muted as spam.
Just have a browse around, see if I can spot anything that would be useful to us. So, like, unguarded portals that lead out of the server, that sort of thing.
There is sort of a staircase that goes down into what looks like a bit of a crypt. It's made of marble, but the letters seem to glow with fire. Authorized access only.
Well, that sounds like the place I need to go.
Yeah. It's a keypad.
I'm gonna grab that and try and break it.
So
I gotta go through that.
I can picture those massive hands just going snap.
Hey!
Oof! Big oof.
Yep,
Ready.
that's definitely broke.
You
Grab it. I push for Fury out of the way very carefully, grab it, and just break it.
It appears to look like a multi-headed dragon, but instead of the heads of a dragon, it's got
Goose heads.
Goose heads. Hank. Hello! Welcome to a Game Master Stash game called the Game Master Stash, because I'm super creative. I'm your host, Arjade. You might know me from posts that I've done. And we've got a very select few whose special power specifically includes being available to record at this particular point in time. So I think I'll start with... Now we're playing Cyberpunk, so I'll start with my wife Renessa, who's actually a cyborg, right?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Hello.
And then Van Dorn, who another Aussie, and then Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's me.
Yeah. And then of course our most honoured guest,
The OG admin,
who's actually in a different time zone. The founder of Game Master Stash, Ragnarokar. Is that how you say it? That's how I've always been saying it.
That's good enough.
How do you say it?
With an accent.
Ragnarok.
Ragnarokar.
Because it was just Ragnarok and then the first three letters of my first name.
Oh yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
You didn't get that?
works. I am. I've been around since we were like coming up to 2,000 followers, so I've been around a while, and now we're at like what 10,000 or something ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah, it's like over 12.
Over 12. I never worked that out until just now.
that I had join. I think you were you were in that first group.
Yeah, it was me and Hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been around a long time. We've seen a lot of people come. We've seen a lot of people go. And
I've been told the current group's alright.
yeah. It's because we've got all the enemies from Australia.
Good. I'm really happy with you guys. Honestly, I haven't been doing much, and you guys have been doing a great job. So, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us come along. We've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. And I've got to promote stuff, which is pretty cool. So I just need stuff to promote. But we thought we would throw this together. So this, if you won't know the story of this, because if you're watching this, you're probably one of our followers, and an errant butt dial put us all in contact one day, and we're like, hey, we're all awake at this time, so why not actually do a little something. So we sort of put this together, and we thought we'd do a little one-off and throw that out to you guys as a bit of a thank you for following us with all our craziness throughout these years.
And an excuse to actually talk to each other in, like, digital person.
I know, right? Like, we never get to actually see each other or talk.
I've never spoken to any of these humans before, and that's what I'm going to claim in court later on.
Yeah, that's exactly the correct thing to do. So yeah, without further ado, I thought we'll just jump into it. We'll go for a couple of hours, and then later on I'll edit it all together and we'll put it out there as a nice little package. But to the fans, if you like this sort of stuff, let us know. We're sort of saying, like, I don't know, maybe we could make this a thing if there was enough interest and maybe a little bit of cash. We might put it on like a Patreon thing. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what you think about that. Let us know. You let us know. But today we are going to go into a fantasy world all the way to the distant future of the dystopian universe of the year 2020. We're playing Cyberpunk 2020 today, guys. We've got, a great setting. There's, a megalomaniacal president in charge of the United States of America, the biggest superpower in the world. We've got a religious zealot in charge of Australia, where most of us are. Pandemics are raging.
I said I thought we were talking about the game.
Yeah, I know, right?
All he did was look at the news from the last 3 months, and he just filled up all the backstory.
That's it. I was like, it's kind of sad when Cyberpunk is less pandemic-y and terrible than the real
If
life.
it was Cyberpunk 2019, it would have been like major bushfires and cyclones and floods, but another year has rolled around, and now it's clowns for presidents and pandemics.
That's it. So, I thought I'm gonna zoom in on my little, thing here. If you guys want to just introduce who your characters are in this dystopian world, then I'll highlight them as you do it, and then we'll have a discussion about what's actually going on in the game.
My character's name is Pyotr, and he's Russian, and
That's funny.
he's had to flee Russia a long time ago, and he works as a fixer, and he fixes things. Basically, he gets information. He beats people up, or he shakes them down. That's just how he does it. There's not much to know about him. He does not like to be well known, but most people in the underground know him, and most of them are scared of him for a good reason.
Yeah. He looks pretty intimidating. I'm just using that Tommy gun for like a size scale. He's a big dude. Who's next?
Fury.
Yeah, Fury.
Flat
Speaking of angry people.
top Fury. Not to be messed around. In her pack family, you get to choose your own name. She chose something that was applicable to her style and also suited her demeanour. It took a few losers to be chewed up and spat out, but now Flat Top Fury is a name that many have come to know and fear. Everybody knows she ain't afraid to slam it on. Fury spends most of her time burning rubber up and down the highways, ahead of her pack, riding her 2018 turbine electric hybrid import from Japan. It's high-performance red in colour, with ceramic double-rotor twin-wheel disc drive, an electronically controlled anti-lock brake system, and over 200 horsepower on the dyno. She's proud of her bike, and more than a few outputs have had their fingers broken for touching what they shouldn't have. Fury's role in her pack, the Panther Pride pack, is as a nomad scout, and she's damn good at it too. She has a nose for trouble and the mentality that it's best to get it over with quickly. She's tall and strong and cuts a powerful figure in her bike leathers. She does all the most dangerous scouting work for the pack, and has been known to pull back and get involved in a skirmish or two with other nomad tribes. The Gypsy Jokers and the Blue Bloods clan are getting bolder every year. That's why she's taken this job. She needs credits for the newest tech and the most cutting-edge weapons to give the Panthers a fighting chance, and you better not get in her way.
We won't. That's super intense. Now, moving from left to right, that brings us around to the start again. Renessa!
Alright, so...
I love the picture.
So, my character's name is Nessa. She's 17 years old, and basically, she's trying to make it big on the internet. So, she is currently trying to be a social media influencer, so she lives for the likes and subscribes, and basically she tries to use that to get all the most up-to-date tech and to get kind of, you know, sponsored, to get the latest gear. She's just got to be up-to-date on all the trends. And the reason she can do this is because both of her parents are in corporate. She's an only child, so she kind of gets to run free. She's kind of got that spoiled brat vibe going, but it's all about making it big for her. And the most important person in her life is herself. She wants to make it big. She wants to have that power. She wants to be the one cool influencer on the internet. And if you can't see the pic or not, it's a nice reference to an old 90s TV show doll that's gone a bit punk. But yeah, she's basically out there for herself and can do it because she's got the money and the influence of her parents who are doing the corporate job hype.
There you go. Very good. And finally, Van Dorn.
Fantastic. Well, my character's name is Eric Van Dorn. He's from Belgium, so I went with the same screen name. He's known by the handle Complex, and he's a very slick, smooth Euro solo. He's always clad in the highest of fashions and feted by the social elite, and he's a well-renowned solo who slays in the streets and the nightclubs with equal skill. His parties are legendary, his deeds in combat even more so, and his easygoing and confident manner has offended more than one solo with a monomolecular axe to grind. The tabloids are saying that his story's being optioned for a 3-movie series, in black and white, of course. It's whispered that he trained with some of the legendary angels of Euro Crystal Palace in L5 orbit, and that he's being fast-tracked for membership himself. He's currently spending some time outside of Europe to hone and test his skills, and so far, they're not being found lacking.
Very good. Well, there is one thing that all of you have in common. Every character here has a penchant for gaming and role-playing, and happens to be an admin of a Facebook group designed to discuss these sorts of things. And that's the one thing that ties you all together. You're all around the world in different places, in different crazinesses, but that's the one way that you're all linked. And this is actually very important because in the world, the dystopian world of the cyberpunk future, things are a little different for gamers. It seems that the way that we have it here, there's sort of, a few... Sorry, just having a group of nomads drive past my house.
Australia!
Excuse me. So there's one thing that is a bit different about this world, and that is, the big players that we know are not actually the major gaming companies at the moment. So things like, Wizards of the Coast, Games Workshop, over the past 5 years or so, slowly they've all kind of been getting attacked on multiple levels, whether it's legally or through social media or, them just kind of folding out. And what's slowly been emerging is this one big company called GMS Studios. And GMS Studios is responsible for, I guess, they've kind of slowly been... they start off very small, and they slowly built up their following, and built up their money as well. And over the course of the last 5 years, so 2015 to now, they've kind of become a massive corporation in and to themselves. And they've changed the way things run. Basically, they have conventions, but the conventions have sort of like VIP tickets where you get a booth babe or a booth buff to sort of escort you around the show. They've slowly been approaching different celebrities and things like that. The celebrities that we currently kind of associate with, gaming, people like Will Wheaton, Matthew Mercer, all this, slowly they've kind of all disappeared over the last 5 years. There's a lot of rumors floating around that, some of them have maybe had an untoward end, or maybe they took their own life, or there's been certain people who've had allegations put to them, and then they've sort of had to fall out of the limelight. Even big names like Vin Diesel, and to lesser extent Will Wheaton, like these celebrities that you would think powerhouses at the moment of all this. They've all kind of slowly either folded into GMS Studios or somehow drifted out of the limelight and disappeared. And there's one other character that's not here, and that is Arjade, who is living on the internet all the time, and he has also disappeared very recently. Oh no, where'd he go? He's gone. And that kind of is one thing. Every now and then you might get a message from him online or whatever, but no one actually knows where he's disappeared to. And maybe a lot of people say he's just in his bathtub, jacked in, and not abandoning the world to a world of fantasy online, which is a nice dream. The other thing that I will tell you about is 3 weeks ago, unaware, unsolicited, you received a big parcel. All of you received a big parcel from GMS Studios, and inside it was a portable VR full haptic feedback suit that kind of lets you plug into the metaverse, the net, and a lot of you guys have probably not really engaged with it, not being net runners or whatever, but it came with a note saying that this is sort of, this has some advanced features built into it to help even the loneliest user, the lowliest user, the least skilled user to jack in and be able to do a bit more than the average person. So I'm gonna, I guess, set you up there with that you have those things from GMS Studios, and I guess you guys have noticed that Arjade has gone missing. He's also an admin in your group, and you sort of are all, I guess, there chatting about that. Is there any input from you guys before we move on to something else?
I don't trust them, and I don't trust the suit.
Yes, I do not trust either.
Nessa immediately... Oop, after you.
But maybe we could find Arjade.
Well, Nessa immediately takes a picture of the suit and puts it on her social medias, being like, "Thanks, guys!" And then all the hashtags, sponsored posts, look at all the cool stuff I've got.
Did you do like a 35-minute unboxing video as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Doing it all for the gram.
I'm just admiring that my version has like platinum coated plugs and jacks and everything.
Yeah,
it's a really nice specky model.
Yeah, and all of them will have been sort of suited to your needs. So Fury will have like a very lightweight one that easily fits into her riding leathers. Complex has nice swish one. Nessa has like has Hello Kitty like ears on the top with like
studs and glitter.
Yeah, glitter, pink, yeah, whatever. So they're all and obviously Ragnarok, is that the character's name?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Ragnarok's is like military hardware. Looks scary and intimidating, intense. I noticed there's some tiger stripes on Ragnarok's vest there, so maybe it's got some looks like something out of Counter-Strike with a pretty hardcore pattern on it. So they are all customized to you guys. When you plug in, it works. It seems to work just like a normal, any normal sort of deck, cyber deck. It's very compact. It fits nicely. It's sort of customized to you. And yeah, it just works normally. It does allow you to have a little bit of access to the menu. Not everything that a full Netrunner would have, but some of the basics. And it kind of seems to have a bit of an AI program built into it that guides you to help you with that. So if you do it, you get to take the tour and get a whole bunch of those sort of things going on and get experience with the net and what you can get away with that. In the chat, it started at 3 a.m. this morning. The Arjade made a post which said, "Guys, I have found the way in. GMS Studios has a weakness, and we can cash in on that. GMS Studios has all their money tied up in a mainframe that they have, which is called the Stash. And the Stash sort of seems to be where they keep all their books, and I found a way in. So if you are interested in making a lot of money from a very evil megacorp, jump on and head to this address, and there's like an IP link address that will take you to the Stash in a cyber, in your cyber visor, in the net. Do a net run. At this point in time, I'd like to apologize to anyone who actually knows how to play Cyberpunk. This is going to be breaking some of the rules. We're going to give everyone a bit of a Matrix-style feel. But, yeah, you'll see. You'll see where we're going. It's a one-shot. Who cares?
Well, I think it's something we should all have a careful consideration of.
Yes, very careful. While you're being careful, I will go in. I will tell you how it is. And he puts it on and goes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that extra money could give me quite a few sponsored likes, and yeah, I'm in.
All right. Well, so hands up if you're in.
Fury throws caution to the wind and decides, you never get anywhere sitting on the sidelines nice and safe. Let's go hurt some people and steal some shit.
As you jack in, a little pop-up ad comes up.
You know our products, you know our podcast. Well, now it's time to step up your game with our new partner in business. That's right, Crit Academy has finally teamed up with GMS Games. We have just signed a contract for a 12-issue run of adventures and resources, starting with the new Memorable Monsters 7 book. Head over to GMS Games to get your copy today.
And then it kind of like, glitches out. And then you find yourselves in the net-verse thing. What do they call it? The net. And
The grid?
The grid, yeah.
Yes, this very much looks like the internet.
Yeah, the interwebs.
Nessa's kind of going to do like... You guys know Ruby Rod in Fifth Element. Kind of gonna do like a live stream while this is all going down.
As you can see here, we've got kind of a weird little grid that's set up. These black squares are data walls, so you can't go through them. These computers are terminals, so they are kind of like different locations around the world that kind of are giving it access to this place. And if you were to log in and out of those, it would put you at different points in the metaverse of the internet, like when you zoom out to like what city you're in or whatever. These things here are code gates. So in order to get through them, there's kind of like a challenge involved. You got to hack it or whatever. And where you're standing right now, I'm about to. On my screen, they can see it. Ooh, for some reason, it doesn't want to go into that. There we go. And you're about to see these things. Did that pop up for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So this symbol is a CPU, and attached to a CPU is usually some kind of memory, which I'm just zooming my thing out so that I can see where I put my memories. The other thing that is in here that it can be like, there's lots of nasty things that can be in a database, and so like the payoff is having like a CPU sort of reveal its memories to you or whatever, and the bad things could be something simple like it sets off an alarm and tells people, hey, there's someone in our computer system. Or it could be, ranging from that all the way up to maybe like, hey, this is going to fry your brain and you're dead now. But usually it's sort of encased in some kind of program or package that will represent it in the sort of 3D metaverse space that you're in. So sort of, think very much like, the Matrix or World of Warcraft or whatever, except you're in your actual character, and like the baddies, instead of just being a kobold that's like, no takey candle, like, if I beat you in this fight and you die, your brain could actually get melted. Yeah? So, without further ado, you guys see this CPU here. And there's a couple of the memories that are lurking around, but there's also which I don't really have an icon for, which I probably should. There's also the ability to access what's called a virtual by accessing this CPU. You can interact with it, and it will give you like a virtual environment that you can sort of go and hang out in. This particular environment is called the Rec Center, which I will name that CPU that so that we can see that. So you can sort of move around in this up to 20 spaces, but you can only move where you can see. So code walls block your line of sight, and walls block your line of sight as well.
So, just to be clear, the little floppy disk symbols are intricate gauntlets that you could fry your brain if you step out of line?
No. Okay, just to clarify, yeah. So if you see a memory symbol, the little floppy disk, you can access that information and like have free reign to that information. That's just like public, like at the moment, the stuff that's outside the code wall, that's publicly accessible. So, for instance, these might include, and that's done through the menu, like reading and opening the file. So that these files might include things like the marketing materials and their like public website and stuff like that. So engaging with them kind of opens up a database of files that you can gain access to.
Right.
It looks like if I don't know if you scroll over to the right side there's like a skull. If you see a skull, that's a bad thing.
Scroll to the right. Right.
If you right mouse, you can move it around.
Alright, as a rule, I'm just going to leave that stuff for other folk. I'm more about pulling triggers and brass knuckles.
Yeah. Oh, as you sort of get used to this, and when you did the tutorial, they kind of basically said, like, any skills you have in real life get transferred into this, like, the part of this package, this AI package that you've got, is that it's kind of, you do it in real life, and it basically automatically transfers the code into the program for you to be able. So, for instance, Ragnarok has the sumo skills. If you come up against like a bad, I'll use the goblin as a reference because we talked about that before. Like, if you come up against a goblin, you can use your sumo skills to smash the goblin, and the VR kit that you've got will automatically program that in so that you can access your real life skills in the Matrix. I mean, the metaverse, the net. Yeah.
Nessa kind of wants to set up like a protective shield in that, like, she wants to set up kind of similar to a Trojan, so that if anything tries to cause harm, it'll trigger, and then a set of pop-ups will come up with like all her social media channels being like, "Hey, it's Nessa, like and subscribe my channel." Yeah.
That sounds like my thing that I posted on the stash the other day.
That's it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sure. Do you have any skills, I guess, in writing programs?
That's a good question. I don't know if she does, actually. I'm probably going to say Nessa probably, whilst she doesn't have the skill herself, she's probably paid other people to set up for her.
Sure.
Or, like, sponsored them to.
Okay, well, I'll get you to do a roll to see how well they did. 1d10, and you're going to add 6 to that.
Yep.
And if you're going to pay someone, how much are you going to pay them to do it? Keeping in mind that, like, it's, 1 million credits equals, like, $100.
Wow.
Tell me how much, like, real-world money today you would pay someone to do that. And, it's hyperinflation, and I'll hyperinflate it.
Probably an average amount, but should probably do, like, 50% cash and then 50%, like, promotion,
Okay, so you tell me the total amount, and I will divide it by half, and that's how much you actually paid them.
Well, per spammy Trojan, should probably pay them maybe, I don't know, like $300, so half of that. 150 plus exposure.
Okay, I'm gonna add 1.5 rounding down, because exposure equals 0. So that's a 5.5. So we'll keep that in mind for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will be an anti-system system.
Yeah, that's the way.
So Alright. Yes, so you have that. Maybe what we need to do is do a quick initiative, and then that way. First up is Complex. What are you going to do, Complex? Welcome to the stash.
I will probably head on over and explore one of these memories.
Sure. Which one? You want to just put yourself on that one. That one. So, that memory is. This is like a inter-office sort of database of them sort of communicating back and forth about the design of different gaming resources. So it's sort of like a developer log, if and it just sort of, it has lists of all their ongoing projects, all their different stuff. Now there are some projects where it's like the file has been locked. It's got like a little padlock next to it, where it's kind of saying like this file is no longer, it's got a date on there. They've renamed it to have just a date with a lock on the file. But otherwise, it's all their current things like Memorable Monster 7 and various other stuff.
Yeah, well, probably, have a browse through those, see if there's anything interesting, save anything useful back to my hard drive, I guess.
Yeah, sure. If you have like a gather information skill or anything like that you
library search?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Yeah.
How did I go? I got a 15.
You actually, as you're scrolling through, you start to notice a bit of a pattern. And that is that there are blocks of programs which are like, it seems to be in some kind of an order. They're in order of release date, and it seems that they kind of, everything's on a cycle. So for instance, I'll use like I don't know, I'll use Dungeons and Dragons as an example. So like they do like Monster Manual 1, Monster Manual 2, Monster Manual 3, and they'll each be like 3 months apart. It's very deliberately structured. And you'll notice that there's a lot of their groups don't overlap, it's all scheduled so that everything is kind of set up to come out. So that basically every week they have a new release. Now, something that you spot as you're going through this is that after, like, where the next new release for certain product lines should be, there is, like, that is then, like, when that product line is cut off, that's where the padlock goes. And then there's no longer any new releases. And then they start, like, you know, with the new Monster Manual 1 or whatever next. But something that you kind of, that just jumps out at you is that these locked things seem to match up with kind of, like, they're not on their main product lines. They're only on product lines that are endorsed by another content creator. So, like, you know, our buddies at Crit Academy or you know, Matthew Mercer or someone else, you know, whatever. You know, as they're making it, you know, Johnny's Monster Manual 7, and then, like, there's when Johnny's Monster Manual 8 should come out, there's a file that's locked with the release date that would have been Johnny's Monster Manual 8.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Fury.
Right. Well, can I go through people?
Yeah. So, one of the upsides is, so the only things that block are walls and gates and baddies. So you can just walk through everywhere, basically.
Alright. I'm going to go ahead and plug in. I think.
What are you doing?
Can you see where I've moved my guy?
Yep. Onto a terminal.
My token? Yeah, a terminal. So I want to plug in.
Oh, okay. So the terminal takes you to, like, the rest of the world.
Alright. Well,
cool.
I will.
And that's a code gate. Smash
make
through
some.
That.
Hey?
The thing above you, though, is a code gate, so you might want to smash through that, and that'll give you access to.
Well, what I want to do is make a call back to my family, and see if I can get some reinforcements.
Sure.
To jack in and meet us here.
Absolutely. Okay, so as you sort of
play to your strengths, people.
Yeah. As you log out, you know, you get another ad that pops up, and this again, it's our friend Justin from Crit Academy.
This just in, it's Justin from the Crit Academy. Our partnership with GMS Games has been dynamite. Our first 8 resources have flown off the shelves. Listenership has never been higher. Join us this week on the podcast live stream, where we'll be able to talk to you about GMS Games and Crit Academy's newest returning product, Demo Damn Key.
The little pop-up ad disappears, and it then connects you to, like, your normal, you know, your jacked out self.
Yeah, I'm grimacing because I hate ads.
Yeah. It's like, where's the premium button? I paid for premium.
Yeah, god damn it. Unskippable too.
Yeah.
That's the height of rudeness in modern civilization. Unskippable ads. I remember the good old Betamax when you could fast forward.
Yeah. You call your friends. Now, some of them, they're not going to have the same, I guess, tech as you. So they'll be able to come in, but they won't be able to interact with things in the same way that you can. But certainly what they could do is, you know, DDoS the whole system. So,
well, I'm not really a tech person, but I'm quite high up in the ranks of my family, so I figure I'm calling the techies.
Yeah.
As the IT crowd, as it were.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it up to them. I'll say, I need you, and that's all I tell them, and they know. They just pitch in with whatever they can help with.
Yeah, so Gadget, who is like the elder of your tribe, who is like known for his expertise in gadgetry, he says to you, look, the best use of us is basically as a DDoS bomb. And he says, I know that means nothing to you, But basically, think about it this way. Yeah. He's like, think about it this way. Let's say that all of a sudden the security guards are like chasing after you, and you run out a door, and then if like 100 people just stood in that doorway, the security guards wouldn't be able to follow you, right? And then we just rough them up as they do it. So when you need us, give us a call, and I'll get the whole tribe to just log into your location. I'll start getting that ready to go, and then that way that'll give you sort of like a barrier that'll shut the system down for a bit.
So maybe, I don't know, he writes me a program so it's a bit like a panic button in where I'm jacked in. So I just hit the panic button, and then all of a sudden they log into where my location is, and then flood. Yeah.
So he'll actually give you he'll give you a little chip which you can like plug into your headset or whatever. And what that does is when you log back in, you have on your belt, it looks like a little like a grenade, and you throw it. Yeah. He's explained you throw it down, and just this big smoke cloud will come out as like a big signal.
I'm gonna skin it to look like a little miniature pineapple on my belt.
Yeah, cool.
Well, they skinned it.
Yeah. He'll know your style. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it'll just like release one of those big clouds, like in those Vietnam movies where they've got all the big like warning flares. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. And that's my move.
That's your move. All right. Ragnarok.
Well, it's not my turn yet.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
Nope.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not putting it in the order. What happened there? It is Nessa.
All right. So Nessa's going to try and get her way in. So, can't go through those black spaces, can we?
No, that's a wall.
What about diagonal?
No. You can... Okay, so let's just clarify. There are programs that netrunners can have, or anyone could have purchased or whatever, which are designed to sort of like smash through the wall, but doing that is very noisy, and the system will know that you are there if you do that. Also, whatever's on the other side of that wall, that's where you end up. So, like, at the moment, you can't really see what's here. So, if there's a monster there and you smash through the wall, then GG.
Pretend it's an electric fence with bells attached.
Yeah, that you can't see through.
I might go up and see if I can access some of the memories then. So, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we are.
Okay, so that one is that is the catalog of all published files with sort of, it's like their shop front for GMS games, and when you log into that one, it kind of it sort of looks like I don't know, drive-through RPG. Like, it's just got all their lists and filters and things, and a little shield with a D20 logo on it, and like 2 little eyes above it pops up and says with a little text bubble, "Hi, are you looking for something in particular today?"
Oh, is this Mr. Paperclip?
Yeah.
Wait, search function? The future is amazing.
I know, right? It's almost like it's retro 90s.
Nessa wants to see if there's like if she can log into the site as an admin and try and steal the product, move it into our inventory.
How are you going to log in as an admin?
That's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
That is a good question. She should. Let me just have a look.
Bet your eyes at the right fan.
This fan? It's my number 1 fan.
Don't bet your eyes too close to that fan.
She's gonna do a call out on her socials to see if she can get some of her fans to use their tech skills to help her out.
Very good. Do you want to roll like your social? So.
Yep, that is a empathy skill. So I just need to add.
Just click the button. It should roll it for you, shouldn't it? There you go. What's Fumble 8?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So is that a 10? I'm guessing that's a 10. Maybe you probably got like some fancy skill that gives you a bonus. I'm sorry, I don't know. But yeah, you put the call out and basically you get a lot of responses with like, oh, what do you need? I'll buy it for you. You know, and that sort of stuff. But no one who actually has a has an admin code. It's getting dark in Ragnarok's house.
Yeah, because it's late.
It's like 11 o'clock. Is there anything else you want us to do?
7:30.
Nessa?
Okay, well, yeah. Well, if no one can do that, then she might have to wait and see if the other guys can catch up and if anyone can log in on her behalf.
Okay. Alright,
I
Ragnarok!
think I have plans. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the real world.
Sure.
Then I'm going to make a street deal. I'm trying to find someone that can send me a virus, so I can log into some of these things and crack them down. Because that's not really what I do, but I make deals.
Yeah.
So I will roll that.
Okay, so yeah, roll. I guess I don't know. Would it be social or do you have another skill in mind?
Street deal. It
Street
is
deal.
class feature.
Give it a go. Very good. Okay, so you have a friend who on the street calls himself Mr. Black, and he says, "Yeah, man, I can get you what you need." And he says, "How much are you looking to spend?"
Tell you what, I will owe you favor. Favor from me is a very big thing.
He's like, "What kind of favor do you have in mind?"
Well, you know what I do to people. I could do that for you to someone.
He thinks about it. He also, with your roll of 18, it kind of weighs up in his head of like, he could also do
Can
those
I
things to me
intimidate
and
him?
take what I have.
Can I intimidate him?
Yeah. Give him an intimidate.
I got one of them. Let's see, where's that at?
You know what I do to people.
Oh.
He leans closer through the net.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's the intimidate roll.
Oof.
Okay, so he says he is 3. He gives you 3 little chippy chips that you can put in your visor, and he says these are in order. The first one is called a jackhammer, which when you're in the net, you can use to jackhammer a wall, and it does 1d6 to attack the data wall strength, to chip it down over time. It gives you something called a wizard's book, which it's going to help you decipher a code gate, which will let you sort of unlock a gate. Also, it will unlock file locks. So if you get any files that are locked, you can use the wizard book on that. And he's going to give you, he says, this one, just in case you get, a little bit of trouble. He's going to give you this other one. He says this is called a reflector. So if you activate this, certain damage that will come to you will bounce back depending on what you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do I still have the rest of my movement?
Yeah, that takes a little time. So we might, if you want to, jack back in and move where you want to go, and then we'll call that a day and move on to the next person.
I'll move there. Okay.
Well, where'd we go? Over there. Yeah, cool. Okay. And then back to the top, complex.
Okay, cool. So there's no alarms been triggered by what we've done so far?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Rather than a very public call to social media to help hack it, and there's no one has been announced at all.
Yeah, there's that. And the little circle with the cross through it, that's our code gate, is that right?
Oh, the circle with the cross is a CPU, and in this case, this particular CPU has a virtual world sort of connected to it. So if you go into that, you go into a different sort of virtual room.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to hop into that.
Okay.
See how this new deck holds up.
Yeah, so like you go into that space, and it's like, press E to enter or whatever, and you activate that. And your vision ripples a little bit, and then a beautiful, serene I don't know, I'm going to use the word pagoda, I don't know that it's right, but Greek-style, open-air sort of amphitheater with some columns and a little sort of, roof that's overlooking what appears to be the Mediterranean Sea. You're kind of high up on a mountain, looking down on this thing, and in the distance you can see some ships that are kind of floating around, and you can see some people hang gliding and just hanging out and having fun. You can also see people with like high tech sort of jet skis and whatever. Like, this looks like it's a place where people have brought their stuff from the outside world into it. Anything that's actually a part of the natural environment very much looks like, a very old Greek sort of mythological Hercules-y type thing. And as you sort of appear, a lady in sort of a very dark blue, I'm going to use the word toga, that's not right, like Grecian dress, and she has dark black hair and very pale white skin, and she walks over and she says, "Hello, my name's Persephone, the hostess of this rec center. How may I help you today?"
Now, like, the idea is that we would move through this, like, CPU to what's beyond it, is that?
No, so you're just kind of engaging. If you engage with this, you can kind of engage with everything else. This one's a public virtual space, so like, people come here to hang out or to organize their game, or they might come here and then like browse the catalog and try out some of the game systems and stuff. This is something you could have accessed, just like, you didn't have to hack in to access this. This is basically just a virtual recreational space.
It's their Second Life server or whatever.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. Okay. In that case, I'll just sort of run through the social tutorial sort of stuff, and then kind of give them a just browsing response.
Yeah, cool. She says, "Well, if there's anything I can help you with, please feel free." You can see from our library, and she motions, and there's like a stone bookshelf with like all these scrolls on it. She's like, feel free to browse any of our products here, and if you'd like to see the full version, just let me know and we can deduct money from your account.
Fantastic, thank you.
Is there anything else you want to do in that virtual space?
Just have a browse around, see if I can spot any kind of anything that would be useful to us. So, like, unguarded portals that lead out of the server, that sort of thing, or nearby. Yeah,
there is sort of in the ground at the back, there is sort of a staircase that goes down into what looks like a bit of a crypt, and that has a big, it's made of marble, but the letters seem to glow with fire, which says like authorized access only.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds like the place I need to go.
Yeah. So you head there, and you find a stone wall, which doesn't appear to have any kind of a hinge or, anything like that, with these big flaming letters.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. All right. If you're happy, we'll move on to Fury.
Yeah.
Fury.
All right. I'm going to give a nod to Ragnarok, and like I'm about to move in, and I'll pass my turn for one character so that we can sort of have our turns next to each other.
Sure.
I might need backup once I get in.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we will come back to you after we speak with Nessa, and I'm just gonna set your thing to 19, so we can keep that order.
Okay, so no liking finding a hacker.
Yeah, no one's really like, they're all happy to buy it for you, but what's your just out of curiosity, what's your like reputation? We'll use that one. There are people who are watching this who are like, man, they have no idea what they're doing, and they'd be right.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for, people. You've got about 4,000 followers, is my understanding of how that works. So a rank 4 reputation gives you like 4,000 people that you can call out to get some help. And yeah, in those 4,000 people, they did not have anyone who was, willing to give that information.
Aspiring influencer, not that she was one yet.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. She might come along as backup to these guys if they do need a distraction. She can sort of chuck in a social media stream. So
Sure.
I might jump back in behind Complex. Yeah, I'll follow Complex.
Into the virtual environment, or you're just gonna stand around? Into the virtual environment? You come in and you get Persephone come up to you as well, and she says, exactly, word for word, tonation, intonation the same. Hello, welcome to the rec center. Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm here to promote this new clothing line that have reached out to me, and they've given me these fantastic dresses to show, and I'm just here to let these wonderful people see all these great fantastic designs they can get. And if they follow me today, they can use the code NESSA20 to get a 20% discount on all of their order.
About halfway through your conversation, you notice as you're talking, your words stop coming out. And if Complex is around, he can see you have a big mic with a cross through it. You've been muted as spam. Marked as spam.
Brilliant. Can I still go through?
Yeah, I mean, you're in, so you can walk around and do whatever you want, but you've been muted as spam. And as soon as that mic went up, she just turned it back and walked away. Real admin stuff. I'm gonna try and do another shout out to see if someone can unmute me. After half an hour, it disappears. You know how this would work, yeah. So
yeah.
You happen to notice Complex hanging out in a downward staircase with fiery letters, and see the same fiery letters.
I'm gonna follow, not spooking my discount for the clothing site yet.
And notice I only get a follow, not a like.
Yeah, just follow. Not with that fashion. Okay, Fury and Ragnarok together.
All right. I'm gonna maneuver and try and do some stuff that's probably well outside my capabilities.
Okay, do you have any tech skills at all?
Interface cables and a pocket computer. So, like the all hackers from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know if any of that's actually any good here. If they're like VR, like virtual reality cables.
That's right. So, like I said, there's this weird thing going on where normally when you'd be in VR, and you would have known this because VR is a part of the Cyberpunk universe, you don't have access to all these kinds of things. There's something special about this particular kit that you've got on that seems to be helping you guys out as you go, and doing that. So you go to whip out your cables, and you find an interface sort of come up. What I'll get you to do is I'll get you to make your basic tech roll, like you normally would to hotwire a car or whatever, and we'll see what comes of that.
All right. No modifier? A negative modifier?
Yeah. But you said you had the kit. What does the kit add?
Nothing. I think it just lets you do it, but in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't read the book, the
I'll give you
Bible
a
cover
+5
yet.
onto that. I'll give you a +5 onto the for
sweet.
having the kit.
That's better. That's my bad. I did some thinking and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's okay. You hear the typical hacker 80s movie as you're sort of, as you're plugging this stuff in, you see like a little console appear and bits of code kind of start popping up that you're not, you're definitely not doing that. Something else is doing that. And then it kind of finishes whatever it's doing and hits like go, and then you see like, the code run. And then a pop-up window for the security gate like comes up. The code lock, code gate comes up, and it's kind of automated. Like you're not doing anything, and it tries like 2 or 3 combinations, which then don't work, and then it stops. And you can see like it appears to have sort of like there's like a progress bar. It kind of gets like 80%. And then when it fails, it then like goes back down to 0. So you feel like you were close, but you didn't quite get in. But in doing that, a face then appears on your visor, and also it's kind of Ragnarok can see it too, floating like a floating head. And it kind of looks like if you think of like the Flash or Daredevil, how it's like got a red sort of mask with like a mouth open. It says,
"What are you doing here? You don't belong here. Yeah, unauthorized access. Identify yourself."
Look, Ragnarok, it's the lawnmower man.
What does this not terminal, this gate look like?
Oh, so the gate, basically there's like physical walls, and then this looks like kind of sort of like, I think like a Stargate type, the blue swirly thing, but in a big rectangle, and then across the middle is like a marble sort of, I don't know, like a portcullis made out of marble, and then in the center there is a still made of marble. It looks like a code, like a phone booth type. You punch in the numbers, just a keypad.
I'm gonna grab that and try and break it.
Okay.
Brute strength.
Yeah. So
I gotta go for that.
I can picture those massive hands just going snap.
I got a skill for that. Where is it? Strength feat. Okay, here we go.
Go.
Hey!
Oof. Big oof.
Yep,
Ready.
that's definitely broke.
You
grab it. I push for Fury out of the way very carefully, grab it, and just break it.
Yeah, so the code that is there, you snap it in half, and like I said, basically as you go out to reach to do that, another little console comes in, and then you smash it in half, which reveals to us.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah.
No problem.
That reveals to you.
I found some things.
Well, I guess he's taking up like the whole entryway, so I'll follow him in when he goes in.
Yeah. But there's also one of these.
Oh yeah.
What does it look like?
So, it appears to look like a multi-headed dragon, but instead of the heads of a dragon, it's got different kinds of heads. Sorry?
Goose heads.
Goose heads! Hank! No. It's got an eagle and a lion and some other things. Dun dun dun! I think we're just gonna pause the video there on a nice little cliffhanger, and we'll come back in a second to discuss what this particular bad is.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for subscribing.
We appreciate your support.
Yeah, just thanks for not only watching this, but following the page. I mean, we do all this really just for you guys. We use our free time just to give you guys content, hopefully, that you can use. So, thanks for watching, thanks for following, and I hope you had a good time. I know I did.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, thank you so much for following Game Master Stash. I hope you enjoyed this game, the Game Master Stash, Cyberpunk 2020. If you are seeing this and you don't follow Game Master Stash on Facebook, please go to Game Master Stash on Facebook and follow us. We should pretty much
Like us, even better.
Like us, even better. Yeah, like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for the years of following along. And we'll see you maybe another time. Otherwise, enjoy our posts.